It is hour 6 of a catastrophic nationwide blackout. Outside your window, the world is descending into absolute chaos. Your neighbors are wandering the dark streets in pure panic. They are desperately hitting dead light switches and staring at useless smartphones, waiting for a rescue that is never coming. But inside your home, the atmosphere is completely different. You are sitting calmly in a temperature-controlled room. Your family is fully accounted for and safe. You have a massive supply of clean drinking water secured right beside you. You are not panicking because you did not act like an ordinary civilian when the lights died. You survived this chaos because you executed a ruthless strategy exactly like a military veteran. The brutal truth about a grid collapse is that your ultimate survival is not determined by the expensive tactical gear you bought. It is determined entirely by what you do in the very first 60 minutes. While most people waste this golden window assuming the power will simply turn back on, trained professionals do not wait for hope. They execute a highly specific sequence of 8 life-saving actions. They follow a strict chronological order because in a disaster, doing the right thing at the wrong time can be fatal. Let us rewind the clock to minute 0 to see exactly how you built this fortress of calm. The power grid has just failed, and your house goes pitch black. The very first thing military training instills in your mind is a strict rule of verification. You must never act on a single isolated report or a sudden wave of fear. From inside your living room, a massive nationwide grid collapse looks exactly the same as a blown transformer down the street. However, your response to each scenario must be drastically different. If you treat a local outage like a total collapse, you will waste critical energy and terrify your family for no reason. But if you treat a total grid collapse like a simple local power cut, you will lose the only window of time where your actions actually matter. Therefore, your minutes from 0 to 3 are dedicated entirely to cold confirmation. You must verify the failure across 3 independent signals simultaneously. First, look outside to check if your immediate neighbors have also lost their power. Second, turn on a battery-powered radio or step into your car to quickly scan for emergency broadcast signals. Third, observe the main roads to see if the heavy traffic lights are completely dead in multiple directions. If all 3 signals are down at once, this is a catastrophic event, and the old rules no longer apply. If 2 of the 3 signals confirm a failure, you must treat the situation as a massive threat until proven otherwise. If only 1 signal is dead, you wait exactly 2 minutes and perform the check again. 3 minutes and 3 signals will give you the absolute mental clarity you need to proceed without hesitation. You have now confirmed that the grid has truly collapsed, and the society you knew is temporarily gone. The reality of the disaster has set in, but a silent countdown has already begun beneath your feet for a critical resource that will completely vanish within the next few moments. You have exactly 7 minutes to secure the most vital element of human survival before the taps run completely dry. Municipal water systems do not operate on gravity alone. They rely entirely on massive electric pumps to push water through the underground network and into your home. The exact second the national power grid fails, those giant pumps grind to a sudden halt. The residual water currently sitting in the municipal pipes will bleed down within 20 to 40 minutes. This time frame depends heavily on your geographic elevation and how many panicked people in your city are turning on their faucets at the exact same time. If you live on an upper floor of an apartment building, you might only have 3 minutes before the water pressure drops to absolute 0. Your window of opportunity is terrifyingly short. Military doctrine demands that you prioritize massive water collection above absolutely every other action during a crisis. You must sprint to your bathroom and plug the bathtub immediately. A standard household bathtub can hold between 80 and 100 gallons of life-saving water. Once the tub is filling, run to the kitchen and fill every single pot, pitcher, and empty bottle you can possibly find. Seal everything tightly to prevent bacterial contamination. This frantic 7-minute sprint secures the one non-negotiable resource that dictates how long your family can endure. Science dictates that the human body will begin to fatally shut down after just 3 days without hydration, making any other survival strategy completely irrelevant if you fail this step. Now that your water supply is locked down, the clock strikes minute 10, and your focus must drastically shift from inside your house to the immediate environment lurking outside your door. In military field operations, True situational awareness is defined as knowing the absolute status of everything within your operational radius. In an urban survival context, your operational radius is your immediate neighborhood block. During minutes 10 through 20, you must step outside and make direct physical contact with 2 or 3 immediate neighbors. You are not stepping out to panic, gossip, or share your own fears. You are conducting a tactical reconnaissance mission to gather crucial intelligence. You must ask them highly specific and targeted questions. Have they heard any emergency broadcasts on a battery-powered radio? Do they have any visual confirmation of immediate threats like fires, accidents, or looters from their specific vantage point? Are there elderly or vulnerable people nearby who might rapidly become a liability or require urgent medical assistance? This rapid interaction establishes a primitive, technology-free information network right on your street before the real panic sets in. It allows you to map out hidden resources and potential threats long before you are forced to deal with them under extreme pressure. Furthermore, stepping outside with a calm, methodical, and organized demeanor instantly establishes you as a dominant presence in a chaotic environment. Psychological studies in disaster zones prove that projecting an organized presence provides documented security benefits, actively deterring potential aggressors who are naturally looking for weak and panicked targets. While locking your doors and hiding in the dark might feel like a safe instinct in the first hour, pure isolation becomes a deadly liability by day 2. You have now built a strategic neighborhood intelligence web, but the most agonizing question still remains unanswered regarding the survival of the people you love the most. As the clock hits minute 20, a crushing wave of anxiety hits your chest as you realize your loved ones are scattered across the city. Your immediate civilian instinct is to pull out your smartphone and blast a panicked group message to the entire family. Military communication training explicitly forbids this exact behavior. Group messages during a crisis create a dangerous illusion of connectivity while actually breeding deadly confusion. Simultaneous replies from multiple people produce chaotic noise instead of actionable intelligence. Furthermore, group texts completely fail the test of accountability because everyone automatically assumes someone else is handling the rescue. Instead, you must execute a strict sequential communication protocol based entirely on the hierarchy of vulnerability. You must first contact the elderly members of your family because they possess the least physical resilience and often rely on life-saving medications. Second, you must instantly track down anyone who is currently trapped away from home. You must quickly establish their exact coordinates and plot a safe route for them to return before the streets descend into absolute anarchy. Healthy adults located in secure environments are contacted last because they are the most capable of self-management. For every single phone call, you must rapidly extract 3 critical pieces of data. You need their current location, their physical status, and their expected next destination. Most importantly, you must write this critical intelligence down on physical paper immediately. Digital screens are entirely useless when the cellular towers go dark and your battery drops to 0. With your family secured on paper, minute 28 demands a ruthless confrontation with reality. Military logisticians operate on one absolute, unbreakable principle. You simply cannot manage what you have not physically counted. During a catastrophic grid collapse, most normal households operate under a completely inaccurate mental illusion of their actual supplies. They mistakenly believe their overflowing freezer will sustain them, completely forgetting that without electricity, that food is merely a ticking time bomb of rot. You must conduct a high-speed, 10-minute physical inventory across 4 vital categories. First, you must check the exact fuel gauge of every vehicle parked in your driveway. Gasoline is instantly transformed into liquid gold, so you must never run an engine unnecessarily from this moment forward. Second, you must brutally assess your food supply by identifying every perishable item that will spoil within the next 24 hours. You must prioritize consuming this fragile food immediately and mentally erase it from your long-term survival calculus. Third, you must locate and secure all critical medications. You must specifically flag anything that requires constant refrigeration, like insulin, or pills tied to a strict dosing schedule that will become critical within 72 hours. Finally, you must gather every single dollar bill of physical cash hidden in your home. Digital banking is dead, meaning physical paper currency is the only economic leverage you have left to barter for your life. This rapid inventory actively prevents the deadliest mistake of crisis management, which is making irreversible decisions based on assumed resources rather than confirmed assets. As you hit minute 38, a silent, invisible killer is already seeping through the walls of your home. While most people obsess over starvation, extreme temperature fluctuation is the grid-down threat that will actually kill your family first. It strikes much slower than dehydration, but moves far faster than hunger. Yet it receives the absolute least preparation attention. You must instantly identify the one specific room in your house that can sustain a survivable core temperature using strictly non-electric methods. In the freezing dead of winter, you must seek an interior room on the middle floor of your structure because it retains precious body heat the longest. In the blistering heat of summer, you must secure a north-facing room with maximum cross-ventilation to prevent lethal heat stroke. This chosen space instantly becomes your primary bunker. You will consolidate all sleeping arrangements, heavily restricting movement to preserve the metabolic energy required to regulate your core body temperature. You must drag your mattresses, heavy blankets, and emergency supplies into this fortress right now. You are racing against the clock to build this microclimate before the ambient temperature inside your entire house drops to a fatal level. Your shelter is now fully fortified against the elements, but a terrifying wall of silence threatens to blind you to the violent reality unfolding just miles away. It is minute 48. Your physical needs are temporarily met, but your mind is starving for truth in an ocean of dangerous rumors. If you rely on panicked text chains or frantic social media posts, you are consuming psychological poison. Military intelligence dictates that you must secure a single, verifiable stream of information immediately. You reach for your hand crank or battery-powered AM radio and tune it to the regional emergency broadcast frequency. Why must you rely exclusively on AM radio when everything else fails? The Federal Emergency Alert System transmitter towers are intentionally hardened against nationwide power failures. These robust facilities operate on massive independent backup generators equipped with deep subterranean diesel reserves. They are engineered to broadcast continuously for a minimum of 72 hours, completely detached from the dying national grid. This specific frequency is the absolute only reliable, government-sanctioned signal remaining in a collapsing society. It will provide the exact cause of the catastrophic failure, the projected duration of the darkness, and any mandatory public actions you must take. Every single whisper you hear from your terrified neighbors must be treated as a lethal lie until the AM broadcast officially confirms it. The clock ticks relentlessly forward, bringing you to minute 55 and the ultimate crossroads of your survival. In strict military doctrine, this exact moment demands a formal situation assessment and decision brief. This is the brutal, emotionless evaluation of whether you hold your ground or flee into the dangerous unknown. You must ruthlessly judge your current position against 4 unbreakable criteria. Criteria 1 is shelter integrity. Can this specific fortified room genuinely protect your family from the harsh elements for the next 72 hours? Criteria 2 is resource sufficiency. Do you possess exactly enough water, consumable food, and critical medication to sustain every single heartbeat in this house for 3 days? Criteria 3 is the external threat environment. Has anything fundamentally shifted in the past hour outside your window that represents an immediate, unavoidable security breach? Criteria 4 is family status. Is every single member of your family either physically sitting beside you or actively en route to a confirmed secure location? If the answer to all 4 questions is a solid yes, you lock the heavy doors and you absolutely stay put. Fleeing your home during the initial volatile hours of a grid collapse is a fatal miscalculation. Blind movement immediately exposes you to violent highway congestion, desperate human predators, vanishing fuel supplies, and an entirely unpredictable destination. Trading a manageable, fortified stronghold for the chaotic unknown is a deadly gamble you will inevitably lose. A highly defensible position stocked with known resources will always triumph over blind panic on the open road. 60 minutes have officially passed since the lights died. You have successfully executed 8 decisive survival actions, while the rest of your city has not even finished staring at their dead televisions. The ultimate difference between a highly trained survivor and a helpless victim is never the price tag on their tactical gear. The difference is the exact sequence of execution. You did not need prior combat deployments or expensive equipment to survive this first brutal hour. You only needed the iron discipline to follow the proper preparation sequence. Now you are physically and mentally ready to face the long darkness ahead. In our next critical transmission, we will break down the 72-hour decision framework that military veterans use to determine if society is stabilizing or completely disintegrating. We will reveal the hidden psychological indicators that show exactly which way the world is turning before your neighborhood even realizes what is happening. If you want to master these elite survival tactics and protect your family from the coming chaos, you must subscribe to Primal Methods right now. Stay prepared, stay vigilant, and never rely on hope to save your life.